So, I made a video a while back about doing borax with a rose, and it like crystallizes the rose. So I saw somebody talk about it, and I was like, "Oh, that's a good idea." So I bought a little cheap skull on Amazon, and it's been sitting on my counter every time. I was like, "I gotta make that video." So what I'm doing right now, I'm boiling some water, and what I'm gonna do is dip the. Hopefully it won't be boiling hot, but it'll be hot. It'll be boiling to melt the borax, but it can't be boiling because it'll melt this. So this is a glass container. It's an old flower vase. So I have my skull, and I'm gonna coat it in there. And you see how this is all coated like this? I want to coat the skull in it so it'll look kind of like funky and weird. So yeah, water's boiling. Let's go ahead and mix our borax in. Once this thing starts boiling, I'm gonna do this. Feels like that. It's like 4 cups or something like that. So I need about 2 of these. So if the water needs to be hot to melt the borax, but it can't be too hot for this. So stirring it in and kind of letting it get to about 150 degrees instead of 212 like it is when it boils. That'll probably help. I, I was pretty sure it's not gonna melt, but we'll see. That's why I bought the cheap skull on Amazon. About a half a cup. So now I just stir it until it's mostly clear. So this water's boiling hot, obviously. So this. Just stir it for about a minute, 2 minutes. This is boiling hot water, so it's going to dissolve it pretty quick. It's very hot, but it's not like... Okay, it's not melting. I don't think it is. No. The one thing I didn't factor in is, whoops, is it gonna float? But there you go. It just had an air bubble in it. So now I have it soaking in the borax. Now it's just time. So it is 1:30 in the afternoon, more or less. So let this sit for a couple hours. Let it get to room temperature, and all of that borax will start congealing, or not congealing. I don't know what the scientific term for it is. Cools off, and then it turns back into a crystal-ish type thing. I don't know. But let it sit like this for a couple hours, and we'll come back and take a look. So it's like 2 days later. It weighs more too. I don't know how well this camera will pick it up, but you see how it's like shiny now. The only thing is, it did get stuck on the bottom. What I should have done is like string a wire through like the jaw and like suspended it in the. But I could always redo it too. I could always just put it back in hot water and all of the crystals would just melt off. So you can always redo it too. So that's not a problem. But the funny thing is like the bottom. Let me see. How am I going to do this? Notice how I don't know how well the camera will pick it up. The jaw, nothing stuck to the jaw. It did stick to the bottom, but we saw how that did. But it almost nothing, like one little piece got stuck to the jaw, but everything else didn't. I don't know why. it's all the same plastic, or at least I think it is. The inside really didn't get much in it, but I think it turned out pretty good. And the nice thing about it, if you don't like it, you can always just redo it. It doesn't take too long either. It is time consuming, but you don't have to do anything. You just have to wait for the water to cool, which, you know. Anyway, I think it came out okay. Didn't melt. Came out all crystalline and shiny looking. I don't know how well this camera picks it up though, but it looks pretty good.